My name is Kenny Robertson. I'm one of the directors at KR Group. We are a structural steel and cladding company. We fabricate our own buildings, we've got teams on site that put them up in place, and we put the facades on. My story is that I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do at 16. I was brought up in a farm, so I spent most of my time working, not nearly enough time in school. By the time my school years was nearly over, it was suggested that it wasn't for me, and ideally I could make space for someone else, which kind of prompted me fairly quickly to have a think about what I wanted to do. It wasn't farming, I knew that because I'd done it for such a young age, so I didn't see the point in repeating sort of history, because I'd learned the work ethic and how to adapt and sort of find your own sort of initiatives to do things. It just didn't belong in farming. Well, I had a fairly easy step in that farming, farms is full of buildings, and there was always companies in doing buildings and farms in different places, so I just kind of took a little bit of interest in that for a start. It wasn't a huge crossover at the time, and it seemed fairly natural, so I managed to pick up a job with someone I knew just doing basic buildings for farms. I seen bigger buildings in cities, schools going up, hospitals, office buildings, industrial warehouses, busy sites, loads of people, loads of different trades and machines, really interesting stuff that you couldn't know it all, but to go and be part of it and excel at your bit as best as you could, and then find out a bit about what everyone else does, that was the enticement for me. I think I got responsibility quite young. It was actually what it was. I think I'd maybe shown a bit with my employer that I was willing to take responsibility for projects and maybe small teams for a start. As that responsibility got more, and had more people that I was responsible for, you just start to get the feeling that if you're going to be doing that, then why not do it for yourself and do it your own way. Going from staying with your mum and dad and not having a job and not knowing what you want to do, to having whatever you may do, whether it's your own premises and mortgages or whatever, or whether it's working for someone but getting as far on as you want in that job. Some of it is ambition and drive, and some of it's adult life, and that if you get settled in and you can stick in somewhere, then you will just turn up for periods of time in your life because it's your job and you've got a responsibility, you're being paid, and you need to give something back really for the job. So you set a performance standard, and if you're meeting that, then you're sticking in, and there's not too much stuff getting in your way. But I think also consistency in your attitude. This is my job, I want to do well, this is what I'm committed to, I'm going to go in, I'm not going to be afraid to ask questions, I don't mind making mistakes. If it's for the greater good and I'm doing good for myself and others, then I think that's two keys, certainly if it's worked for me. It's a cliche, and I've had it in my head since I was 18 years old, but if it seems easy, then you're trying hard enough. If you're in control of things, then you're going to set a big enough target.